Hi everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video, it's going to be me and Trefff versus Neos and Neosporum. Now the map is the Silk Road, and so of course this will be a 2 versus 2 battle. So before we start, go on ahead, smash the like button, and of course subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you will not miss an upload or stream from my channel. Now let's go ahead and begin.
New objective.
Okay, so I'm going to be the purple player, and green will be the, Trefff will be the green player. Okay, now we're gonna have to fast forward a bit so that we can get into the good part, because this battle is pretty much loaded with pretty crazy stuff. Okay, now in this setup, I'm going to rush Jaguars and Mammoths here to attack the red player. That was initially the plan, and then transition to Chameleon. Okay, we see a scout on the red player's base, and scout on the yellow player's base, seeing a dragonfly, a jaguar coming out of the factory, and Trefff has this. Okay, so yeah, nothing really crazy there to say. Okay, so he has porcupines versus those dragonflies, and this guy right here has tons of, or a few riflemen, like 5 riflemen right there, and are attacking. And there's like a gun tower right there, so it's a pretty bad idea if he were to commence with the attack right here. And I think that gun tower is still not yet finished. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to press the attack here on the red player's base, and because I was initially planning for a rush attack. Okay, now a gold defense boost has been used by this yellow player, and as you guys can see, that gun tower is so buffed. Okay, now got destroyed, but most of Treff's army has been decimated, if not all of it. Okay, meanwhile, I'm actually sieging up this red player's base. Okay, and he's going HQ4, Trefff that is. Okay, nothing really crazy so far here. Now, as you guys can see, I'm using a gold resource boost to increase my resource income as I transition to HQ4 is about to finish on my end. Okay, and Trefff is actually lagging, so yeah, that's where it came from. Okay, now I'm sieging this position right here, because this position is very advantageous for me. Meanwhile, the yellow player is doing the same thing versus Trefff, so Trefff is a bit, does have this disadvantage here right here. Okay, so that dragonflies will now be zoned out along with some jaguars right there, and a very good position. There's like the jaguars here from the red player. Okay, let's see how this plays out. They're like force firing above the cliff because those riflemen are revealing where my jaguars are located. And so of course I'm going to somehow reposition, because I'm not committing boost wise into attacking. As you guys can see, I'm using a common production boost. We see that the screen of Trefff right here, he's in a very big trouble. As you guys can see, mammoths are like sieging his base along with some dragonflies, and he lacks the anti-air. Okay, ooh, walls here from the red player to see above the cliff. Very nice idea. It's a very good idea. Now, there's like a porcupine here from the yellow player, zoning out the dragonfly of Trefff. Meanwhile, the numbers game are not in favor of Trefff due to the first bad engagement that we saw earlier, due to the lag. Okay, so Trefff is in a very bad position as expected earlier. Those dragonflies are doing great work. Now, the jaguars here are going to take out that porcupine, giving the dragonfly of Trefff more freedom to attack the dragonfly of the yellow player. Okay, both dragonflies are now destroyed. However, tons of units are like scouring the area of Treff's base. And meanwhile, I on my end are like sieging up the red player's base slowly but surely, and not really losing a ton of unit. Okay, now keep in mind that both me and Trefff are lagging so much. Alright, so apologies for the bad control right here. Now Treff's base is actually being cleaned up, and I could not really help him out since most of my units, if not all, are actually gathered in the red player's base. Now, the red player is like sieging up right there. Okay, my chameleon control is pretty much bad due to the lag. Okay, I was not able to move it around. Okay, I actually moved it around, it's just that the lag, even misstep right there at the force firing. Okay, so I'm gonna have to relocate my army and not take a bad engagement, because Trefff is actually in a very big trouble right there. We see a chameleon right there, however there's no porcupines right there to zone out those dragonflies. So this is a very bad for Trefff. He's only delaying the inevitable at this point. Okay, now he's going to make use of those Jaguars that he has while the Chameleon is alive and destroy as many units as he can to slow down his base destruction. Okay, meanwhile, on my end, another Chameleon just arrived on my location and are now going to siege the right player yet again. Okay, now let's see how this goes. Trefff is in a very bad position as mentioned earlier. Still, the situation is not yet has not changed. Now I have the high ground vision using a gold scouting boost, and as you guys can see, I have the upper hand here since I have the high ground. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move my Chameleon around here. Okay, again, going back to Treff's location right there, he's in a very bad position. Okay, meanwhile, this red player is like trying to somehow take over the cliff right there from that massive choke point, or from that small choke point from going above the cliff, and that's a very bad idea. Okay, so the red player could not take it anymore and was impatient and lost a ton of units right there in the process. Okay, I'm no longer going to use my Chameleon since I have to save the energy, and if I can force fire, it will not reveal the units that I have inside the fog. Okay, or above the cliff rather. Okay, again, Trefff is still trying his best to survive here. Let's see how this plays out. He's mainly reserving some resources so that he can rebuild his HQ later on, because it will be destroyed, or he can build some administrative buildings in case he might want to come back into the game. Now I'm gonna have to siege up right here, destroy as many things as I can. I'm going to ignore those Jaguars and defenses from the red. Instead, I'm going straight for the HQ. Okay, going back to Treff's base. This is all I had here on my base. Okay, not really that much to have. Okay, HQ is down from the red player. Okay, and I'm gonna have to move my Chameleon around since it's being targeted by those Jaguars from the enemy. Okay, and now force firing to where those Jaguars are located. Treff's base has been pretty much cleaned up, so he's going to use his Chameleon, send it over to my base, and I'm gonna have to reposition my army here. Okay, and as usual, the pathfinding is super nice. Pathfinding imba. Okay, and now Trefff wants me to attack the red player. However, I could not really do that because the red player's army is in a very good position where I am just attacking. So yeah, I don't want to take a bad engagement since I already took out the HQ and some of the infrastructure there that can actually help the red player come back. So he's going to need more time. Meanwhile, I have a second detachment in the middle of the map and are going to attack the yellow player. At least that was the initial plan. Okay, so the yellow player has a barracks right there, and the red player's army, okay, is actually here at the yellow player's base. Okay, so he abandoned his base. Instead, most of his army are now at the yellow player's base, helping him out. Now, my first detachment is going to clean up the red player's base, which are defenseless. Meanwhile, I'm going to lay siege on the yellow player's base at the same time as destroying the red player. Okay. Now, due to the lag, my control is not the very best. Okay. But I believe at this point, we're all lagging. Okay, that's pretty much obvious in my point of view. Okay, now I have a bit of a unit there on my base, and I'm going to have my second detachment retreat in order to help out my base for defenses. Meanwhile, my first detachment has cleaned up the red player's base. We see here above the cliff, adding more riflemen, of course, as there are grenadiers from the red player, or the yellow player, and I have one sniper tower here, which is not a very good sign. Okay, now I have my second detachment there move. Okay, move now in order to help me defend my base. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, Chameleon just activated from Trefff. Okay, and I'm gonna have to get into position since those grenadiers are at the choke point, small ramp right there, exiting the cliff. So I'm actually in a very good position here. Okay, and my armies are like in a very good position. Meanwhile, I have my second detachment here move out yet again because I think that I can actually defend this without my second detachment. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do just that. Meanwhile, my first detachment is going to cause chaos here on the yellow player's base, which are just now going HQ4. I'm gonna have to attack that HQ and focus my whole army into attacking the HQ while it's upgrading. The armor is down, so it's more vulnerable to attack. Okay, now let's see if I can destroy that HQ. Apparently not. Okay, because there's like a ton of units here from both the red and the yellow player. Okay, red player is now coming back into the game, or at least trying to come back into the game. But I'm not going to allow that to happen. Chasing out the yellow player's army here. Okay, with my another detachment, the third detachment that I have here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have to clean up the red player's base. There's like some units right here from the yellow player. Okay, does not really matter if it lived to see another day. Okay, but I'm gonna have to somehow safeguard Treff's base, and I'm going to maintain that position. Meanwhile, the red player is at my base, and as you guys can see, I lack the scouting, and I'm going to use my detachment, which was used to clean up the red player's base in order to help my base defend. Okay, so now since that is going on, I'm gonna have to use my army there at Treff's base to somehow attack. Okay, and defend his base yet again. As you guys can see, the army is already here, and I have another detachment yet again, okay, to attack the yellow player, and are now going to move at the center since I cannot really micro that well due to the lag, so apologies for that. Okay, there goes. Force firing now inside the fog, and I'm going to attack the Jaguars now, and they're now going to retreat as I'm effectively destroying the units inside the fog. Meanwhile, I'm going to attack the yellow player and cut off the retreat route. Okay, the retreat route of this red player. However, I managed to fail that due to the lag. And again, some of the units did not follow order as to unsiege. Most of my Jaguars are not doing that, hence they got left behind. Okay, so I'm gonna have to retreat and take my losses. I'm going to lose most of my Jaguars there, so that's actually my bad. I don't know, for whatever reason, the Jaguars are not unsieging when I ordered them to unsiege. Okay, but I still have my chameleons here intact. That's actually more expensive than those of the Jaguars that I lost. Okay, but still, I think that's a very good thing since I managed to somehow destroy those dragonflies for free, and I'm able to somehow flank this red player's army yet again. Here goes. Red players like going here. Trefff has tons of riflemen and are now going to come back into the game. And of course, due to the zombie apocalypse, man, those riflemen are causing the red player to retreat, as he doesn't really have enough or a ton of those. Okay, here goes. Now, we see one chameleon almost down for the count, and we're going to do a counter attack here. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, now, man, lag, E.B.S.G. Okay, so we're gonna have to retreat because both the red and the yellow player's army are covered with a chameleon and are in a very good position. So if we manage to attack in that, there's also a dragonfly right there that can actually reveal our position. So that's not a very good sign. Okay, and here goes again, likewise, pathfinding E.B.S.G. Okay, and I'm gonna have to attack at a better location, even though it's harder to attack. I'm gonna have to attack where the Jaguars are located. See here, lag again. Still, we're gonna have to try and do our best and deal some damage right there. Okay, so we're going to attack the Jaguars that are inside the fog. We're gonna have to retreat. Okay, so I'm actually losing a lot more units than I'm supposed to. Okay, so non-stop unit production here on my end. Trefff is actually doing good, adding more supply centers and barracks right there. So he's going to supply me with riflemen to get inside the fog, acting as a meat bag, so that of course I can deal more damage. Okay, here goes. I got like a ton of units there above the cliff, and as usual, pathfinding is so E.B.S.G. Okay, so bad, as you guys can see. Okay, I don't know what went wrong there. Okay, so the yellow player along with the red player is going to attack Treff's base, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. You know, I'm gonna have to try my best and defend Trefff, because of course having an ally than having no ally at all or partner is actually you know, going to lose me chances of winning. And here goes. Most of the units has now been owned thanks to Treff's riflemen getting inside the fog. I have like a separate detachment around here and another detachment at the middle. The red player is here, and man, thank you, lag. So yeah, I should thank the lag here for making me lose most of my units. Excuse me. Okay, now here's another detachment making an attack here. Entry at the lower left-hand corner of the base of this yellow player. Okay, so I'm gonna have to attack and destroy as many things as I can. Most of the army of the yellow is actually focused on the base, or actually at the units that both me and Trefff has. And again, thanks to lag, I managed to lose more units than I should. Okay. For some reason, those chameleons got or deactivated themselves. Meanwhile, I managed to somehow destroy the HQ of this yellow player. Massive pickup. He can only come back into, you know, with 1 HQ. And again, Treff's in big trouble with the rifleman right there, and some of my Jaguars that's managed to survive the lag catastrophe right there. Now, I managed to destroy the HQ and destroy the vehicle factory, lessening the production of the Jaguars from the yellow player. Now, meanwhile, I have here, okay, and the Trefff still has 1 chameleon alive right there, so that's actually proving very, very nice. And we're gonna have to retreat as usual. Again, we see the red player, okay, some scouts right there. Now, I'm going to use gold scouting boost. Okay, I'm going to leave some of my units around there at Treff's base for defense in case the yellow might attack him. And now I'm going to be attacked by the red player. Okay, here goes. I got like some units there, newly produced units that are going to help me defend. And some of my reinforcements to the top right hand corner to Treff's base are now going to be sent in the middle of the cliff. Okay, meanwhile, my other detachment here that lived to see another day, I'm gonna have to try and attack that chameleon from the red player. Okay, and time to retreat since of course the lag imba. Okay, now I'm trying to flank this red player right here by having most of my Jaguars right there, along with some riflemen from Trefff attack from the high ground. Meanwhile, let's see what will happen here. Okay, now this is very bad since my detachment there that survived will no longer survive because they're gonna get chased out by those Jaguars from the red player, and of course I'm gonna be outnumbered. Ooh, nice force firing right there, skill. Okay, those riflemen of Trefff for Sparta. Okay. Alright, well, at least I managed to destroy some Jaguars right there from the red player, because those units, every unit that the red player will lose is very, very valuable since he can no longer replace it. Meanwhile, Trefff can actually replenish the riflemen that he will lose. Okay, got my detachment there that was meant to save Treff's base is now going to be used as a decoy to attack this yellow player, and the goal here is to somehow make the army of the yellow player go at the very top so that I can attack from the bottom left hand corner. Now let's see how this plays out. Okay, see some units here from the yellow, and again I'm going to attack and ransack the base from the bottom right left hand corner of the yellow player's base. However, there's like gun towers right here, and thanks to the pathfinding, making it hard for my chameleon to move. And red player is actually on my base. I got like some units right there, but lag is definitely not making it easy for me to control my units at all. Okay, now I got my other detachment right here. I succeeded in luring all the army of the yellow player at the top mountain right there, so I can like destroy some of the infrastructure of this yellow player. Meanwhile, the red player is doing his job in terms of cleaning up my base. Destroying my factories would be super massive. And yellow player is doing very good here with the defense. You know, he positioned his army at the middle of his base, or in the middle of his base, so that of course he can cover most of the area regardless of the angle. Now, the red player is still trying to somehow destroy as many factories as he can. Okay, Trefff with like, oh man, 5 barracks right there. I'm going to try and demolish the HQ, but of course I'm going to have to fail. I'm going to fail that since, you know, man, lagging back. And I no longer have chameleon there. Okay, I canceled the Jaguar there in the factory before it gets destroyed. Meanwhile, I got like some units right here to attack, and I'm going to instruct Trefff to somehow fall back. And man, my factory has now been destroyed. I no longer can produce a Jaguar at this point, and my chameleon will also get destroyed thanks to the lag right there. And I'm going to force fire to where the units are located inside the fog. Okay, and oh man, I had my units there retreat. Trefff actually activated a chameleon to save both of my chameleons, and I'm gonna have to retreat. Destroying the Jaguar, very nice. and I'm going to have to somehow rebuild the factory that I lost as fast as possible. I got like here a dragonfly. Okay, because there's no porcupines here on the red player, so I can like bully him around with at least one dragonfly. And that chameleon is badly bruised up. Nice pickup right there. Okay, so the yellow player is on the way to save him, but of course my dragonfly will be microed. I'm gonna have to micro that, go at the middle of the map, and then again ransack the chameleon. So no more chameleon for you, my friend, the red player. No more chameleon for you. Meanwhile, I got like another detachment here, or actually the newly produced units that I have. Okay, defend my base because I still don't have a level 3 vehicle factory for my Jaguars. Here goes. Scouting right here. Those riflemen did their job. Get inside the fog. And man, zombie apocalypse. Okay, so yeah. Man, look at this. Bam. Okay, and then all those army from the yellow player will now get shredded by the meat grinder that me and Trefff set it up here. Very, very nice. Now, the red player without a chameleon are now we're headed straight to Treff's base in order to attack him. Going away outside the fog, or actually outside the gun tower's range. I rebuilt my factory right there. I got like some dragonflies. Gun tower has now been destroyed, but the riflemen are like doing their job. This is Treff's rifleman, my man, destroying Jaguars. Okay, so here goes my dragonflies around here. We'll go ahead and help save the day for Trefff. And his chameleon has now, been destroyed. That chameleon was MVP, man. MVP chameleon. Okay, let's see how many Jaguars can I destroy. Okay, 1. Okay, I think that's gonna be it. Alright, so this has been a back and forth battle right there. Very, very nice. And the yellow player is trying his best to somehow rebuild his base and defend at the same time. Oh, second Jaguar has now been destroyed. Let's see if I can destroy that third one. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to destroy that. So I'm gonna have to retreat, save my losses. And man, there's like a bunch of riflemen there from Trefff, man. Oh man, it's a lot of riflemen causing my frame to drop. Okay, he's going to add grenadiers into the mix, and level 3 vehicle factory so that he can produce a Jaguar. He now has like 5 supply center. Okay, and here goes. There's like a ton of dragonfly right here. The yellow player has now 3 avia factory for dragonfly production. So we ought to be careful out of those dragonfly. They are very good in terms of dealing damage, especially in good numbers. Okay, now we're gonna have to set up a flank right here, and as you guys can see, I got like another detachment there along with the riflemen from Trefff, dragonfly from my end, and then another detachment at the bottom side. Here goes the clash. Okay, there's like a ton of riflemen, right, or dragonfly right there, and the riflemen are now going to help out deal and act as an anti-air due to the lack of porcupine. And here go my small detachment at the bottom left hand corner, now causing damage. And tough. Okay, this is tough. Okay, riflemen are now saying Sparta yet again. Okay, now let's see how this plays out, man. Those dragonflies, there's like a ton of them, and my chameleons are just like covering for them. And still, I'm attacking from all different directions right here. Man, what mayhem is this? Okay. Okay, so the riflemen are going to succeed in destroying all those dragonfly, and as you guys can see, of course, the rifleman number are superb. Okay, oh man, non-stop action right here. It's tiring me out. Okay. Again, non-stop unit production here on my end. I'm rallying all the units that I'm going to produce around here in the middle, and I'm going to somehow, man, gather units until I have full command points right now. Okay, at least later on. Okay, oh man, there's a lot of dragonfly. However, I got like my chameleon around here. Okay, anti-air has now been unpowered, as you guys can see in the top right hand corner. Those dragonflies or riflemen are shredding the dragonflies apart. Okay, so there's like a gun tower here and a Jaguar from Trefff, and he will manage to somehow zone out this attack right here due to the sheer numbers of infantry. Man. Man. Okay, run. Okay. So he managed to drive off the attack right there, and I got like again another detachment moving at the left hand corner of the screen, or at the map right there, and are now going to start attacking the yellow player yet again. The red player still has like a Jaguar right there, but I think that's all that he has left. And I'm going to target at HQ. Let's see if I can succeed. I think not, because the units are not in good sieging position thanks to the lag yet again. Okay, here goes. I got like a lot of units here newly produced, and 2 my chameleons are there. Again, Trefff with the albatross trying to make it out. Okay, so I'm gonna have to retreat and take my losses. Okay, as usual, the pathfinding. Superb pathfinding. Now I got like porcupines right here to zone out. Okay, however, I'm going to use everything that I have right here to somehow defend this detachment and save as many units as I can. Okay, now those dragonflies are, yeah, annoying as usual. Okay, porcupines are here to save the day. Okay, I'm gonna have to move in the middle of the map yet again, and also have 1 rifleman at the bottom left hand corner so I can have a scout. Okay, and yes, Trefff Imba. Okay, managed to do a comeback after his base has been erased. Man. Trefff Imba. I'm not Imba. Okay, so yeah. Here goes. I'm amassing a ton of units right now so that we can end this battle once and for all with 1 clean swoop. Okay, here goes. The yellow player is like, oh man, dragonfly. Okay, a lot of dragonfly. Now, I still have 2 of my chameleons right there to support Treff's army, and I got like my whole army in the middle. Okay, activated my chameleon because there's like an impeding attack from the yellow. Okay, they'll actually see my detachment above the cliff. Oh man, those jaguars are now going to end up dead. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, I'm going to ransack the base now of the yellow player while most of the army are out of position. Okay, here goes. A ton of my jaguars are here. And then Trefff covered with my chameleon right there. Oh, those riflemen are going. Oh. Mayhem. Okay, meanwhile, I'm using a gold scouting boost to get into a position much faster. And man, here goes the mayhem. We're gonna have to ransack everything here. I got like a ton of porcupines against those dragonflies, and here goes Trefff making a defense right here. That's a lot of army here from the yellow player, along with some mammoths and dragonfly, along with some chameleons from the enemy. Man, however, Trefff still managed to somehow defend with a few units there, just infantry and a bit of jaguars. Meanwhile, all of my units right here are uncontested, if not this. Man, he literally can't do anything about this. Okay, so I'm going to ransack his base. I will not really care about the units that are hidden inside the fog. I'm just going to ransack everything here and destroy the fog. It does not matter if I destroy it or not, because there's like a ton of units right here, and that's gonna be it. GG. Alright, well. Trefff Imba. Okay, guys. Now, if you liked the video, go on ahead, smash the like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification to all notifications so that you will not miss an upload or stream from my channel. And of course, might as well check out my previous videos, as they contain tips and tricks that can actually help you win a battle. And also, do not forget to leave a comment down below as to what are your thoughts into this video. What a slugfest. Alright, well, thanks for watching, have a great day, and good luck with your battles. Trefff Imba! Yeah! Bye now!